Minglava. Hi everyone, welcome back from our live interview session. I'm Jomindan, Student Survey Assistant in Study Abroad Information Center. Today we arranged to interview Ms. Yadanar Kyaw, who got 100% scholarship, both for diploma and degree from Singapore Institute of Management. At our today interview session, Yadanar will share how she prepared for her scholarship application and student experience in Singapore Institute of Management. Hello, sister.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining our interview session today. And may I request you to introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay, thank you so much. So, my name is Yadanar Kyaw, as you can see, or you can call me Stephanie. And I have been in Singapore for about 4 years now. And I'm in SIM Global Education. So, I got diploma and degree scholarship for SIM Global Education University Studies. So, yeah, I hope I can share you a lot of information that you can know about me and the school and also about overseas studies in general. So I hope it is like informational for you all.
Okay. Shall we start our live session now, Yana?
Yep, I'm ready.
Yes, okay. First of all, please tell how you came to know about Singapore Institute of Management and applying for the diploma.
Okay, so basically I finished my IGCSE around 2016, June, July intake. So during that time, I was actually not so sure what I wanted to do in my future. As in, like, I wasn't very sure which area I wanted to choose, be it be business, engineering, or like medical and stuff. But one thing for sure is that I don't want to go for medical. So yeah, I eliminated that. But for other stuff, I wasn't sure. So I took a small quiz online, and they showed that I am very like fit with business studies, and it came as one of the top results among other subjects. But because I was more interested in maths and communication, so I chose banking and finance among the business studies. So while I was looking for like schools that actually provide such kind of major across over the world, like Australia, US, UK, and Singapore, like I found a lot of schools. But then why I chose Singapore is that it is very near to Myanmar. So if there is anything to happen to me or my family, we can just go and like it's very convenient. And also it's a very safe place, so I don't have to worry my parents if I have to go out late or have to come back home late. And while searching for universities in Singapore itself, I found a lot of universities, and there are a lot of good universities. But something that actually like grabbed my attention is SIM itself because it has over 80 clubs, and I'm a very enthusiastic person when it comes to activities. Since my high school, I've been doing like extracurricular activities to not only like be put on the CV, more like to benefit myself in a way that I develop my personal skills and interpersonal skills. So while I was looking at that, I was really interested, but to be honest, I wasn't very sure whether I want to decide on the spot, like while researching to get to there. Then a couple of days later, there's a roadshow held by Study Abroad, and SIM was one of the invited guests as one of the universities. And I met the SIM representative and the Myanmar representative for SIM, which is Mata Tanwe. So I met them and we talked more, and I knew about the scholarship during that time. So that was the first time that they're offering the diploma scholarship and like other years. So I was the first batch. So while they were explaining, I was like, oh, this is a scholarship and it's 100% scholarship. So I was really keen and I was really interested. So I got in touch with them and I got in touch with Study Abroad, helping me with all the application process because it was very raw to me. It was the first time for me to do such a thing. So I didn't have any plans before, but because Study Abroad has sent a lot of students before to SIM, they already know the process. So it was a very smooth process and it was very fast. So all I had to do was prepare everything on my end on what I want to present to them. So since this is the first time that they're doing the diploma scholarship, they didn't really have a requirement as in like you have to write such essay or like what question you have to write. So what SIM and didn't really suggest much on that, but for Study Abroad they suggested that I should do a personal statement to stand out from other candidates. So I wrote a personal statement about my achievements, certificates, and my skill sets so that I can show my like show myself to them on a piece of paper and distinguish myself among the other candidates. And after reading my personal statement and my application, as I am got in touch with me that I got shortlisted. So I was going for the interview in a few days later. So during the interview, it was only with two representatives from SIM, and it was a face-to-face interview because it was different for other years, mainly because during that time they had something to do in Myanmar, so they actually held a face-to-face interview. But if you were to go to the diploma scholarship now, it might be a Skype interview given the pandemic situation and all. So yeah, during the interview session, was I nervous? Yeah, of course I was nervous. It was my first time doing the interview. So what I did before the interview was prepare and research like what questions they might ask. There isn't particularly a form that say like scholarship questions for students. Mainly you have to search for like you can search for job application questions because they all actually want to know about you, and also you just prepare some answers for that. And the main thing that I learned from that experience was to be honest and to be genuine. So sometimes the questions that you prepare might not come on the interview itself. So during that time, you just have to think about what you have done as on your own and what you can answer back to that question. So that was how I got to the interview stage. And after the interview, they contacted me again and they said I got chosen to be one of the scholars. So that's how it went for the overall scholarship. But because study abroad helped me and also the representatives from SIM helped me, like I got to that stage and now I am here. So yeah, thank you so much to study abroad and SIM for bringing me to here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing, sister. And could you share with us about your preparation for the degree scholarship in Singapore Institute of Management?
Okay, so for the degree scholarship, it's a little bit different, mainly because they actually show you what essays that you have to write. They actually show that you have to write four essays mainly on your leadership skills, teamwork, and what you have done in SIM, given the fact that you have done SIM diploma. And during the time what have you actually done apart from your studies, of course. So there, as I said earlier, there are like a lot of club activities and I have to showcase what I have done. And after that, they actually asked me what I can contribute back to SIM as a degree scholar holder. So yeah, so that's how the four essays went. And I again prepared and submitted the essays and they took a look at it and they're like, okay, we shortlist you, and I was there for the interview. But for this interview it was another level, mainly because I got interviewed by three panelists, and among the three, one was the CEO of SIM and the other two were the directors of SIM. So they were all like higher rankings, and I was like really, really nervous. I have met them before though, during before the interview session, mainly because we have met during the events and all. But during that time, it was only like, hey, hi, I'm Stephanie. Like that's the only thing that I got to like get in touch with. I never have really sat down and talked with them. But somehow they actually recognized me when I stepped into the interview, and they were like, oh, hey, I know you. Then it was a lot more relaxing than I thought, mainly because it was more of a catching up chit chat session rather than a interview, mainly telling me like what they have and what I have to offer and what's going on with my life and what I actually want to do in my degree and all. So it was really relaxing that after the interview I was actually relaxed. I wasn't really sure if I was gonna get it, but I'm just glad that it was over because it wasn't as bad as I thought. And I got woken up to the news that actually I have got into the scholarship for the degree. So yeah, and that's how I got into the degree scholarship and the whole process. I For that process, I since I'm very familiar with SIM people, I actually communicated more with SIM people. But if I had anything that I needed from study abroad, I'll also ask them, and they'll also still reach out to me, like keep in touch, so that we never lose contact. And here I am again. So yeah, that's how I got into the degree scholarship with my diploma scholarship.
Yeah, that's indeed. And you achieved the 100% scholarship for both diploma and degree program from Singapore Institute of Management. And so, being a scholar holder, please tell us about your opportunity at Sing.
Okay, so for the opportunities, it actually differs for the diploma scholarship and the degree scholarship. During the diploma scholarship, I in the contract, I was to be a student ambassador of SIM. At first, even if it wasn't part of the contract, I actually planned to join it. But now that I am part of the contract, I just automatically become a student ambassador. and it is much easier mainly because we only have one recruitment every year for student ambassador, and you have to go through all the process of applying, interview, and all. But now I got in automatically, and I got exposed to a lot of events such as sharing information with prospective students, or either doing that, or either we go for campus tours, and these are like on-site activities in SIM. But we also have off-site events where we actually go to other schools like secondary schools and also JCs and all for their O-level outreach and A-level outreach. So basically during that time, I will share about my SIM experience that I have gained, be it for studies or for extracurricular activities, and if they were to come to SIM to learn what they are going to face and what problems they might face and what how they can actually overcome it and how they actually can enrich their student life during the 3 years or 4 years, whichever way that they're going for. So yeah, that's the opportunity I got for the diploma scholarship, and for the degree scholarship is a little bit more. There were more opportunities given the fact that I got invited to events that normal students are invited or the public isn't invited, such as we go for networking events where like very important people from all over Singapore or from all over the world coming together to actually do a seminar or something, and you just get to attend that talk and you can interact with the panels and all. That's one, and the another one is like volunteering events where you actually go and volunteer for something that not all the public is exposed to. And apart from that, we also have consultation sessions with one of our appointed lecturers. Rather than a lecturer, it was a consultant. So every 3 months, we will actually meet up with him, and we will actually talk and change like our perspectives on things. And actually, it was more like he was there to listen to rather than talk and converse. Because sometimes we converse, but do people really listen? It depends. So sometimes you actually need someone to listen to you, and it was a really like eye-opening experience. During the first time, I was like, it was really odd for me, mainly because I've never really had someone sit in front of me and listen to me talk. And yeah, it was so awkward because I was telling about my emotions, my problems, and what I face as a student. Mainly because during the first few months, I would say it was really tough because for diploma and degree, the studies actually like got a lot tougher. So I was telling him like what I was struggling, and he was there to like listen. And after listening, he will be like, okay, so this is what I think that you should do. He will give us advices. So how he knows what problems we have is that we always have monthly reports every month to write and self-reflect on ourselves to know what we have actually achieved and what we might want to change or what we might want to fix on our mistakes. And we will always send it to him, and he will always review it. And during that meetup session, he will actually address them as well. So apart from all these like emotional and physical like helping, they also actually provide that consultation session for us to actually ask if there are any events that we want to attend, but not everyone is exposed to and they didn't know before. So we can actually ask them like, hey, actually I have this event to attend and that I want to attend, and I think it will benefit the school or me as in a person. Then they will actually arrange something, get in contact with the event organizer, and actually arrange something for us to work it out. So these are the opportunities and chances that I got as a diploma and degree scholar.
Yeah, it's really great opportunity for the scholar holder. And after we talk about the scholarship, I would like to know the activities that you participated in while attending the Single Digital Management. So please share with us about it. Yeah.
Okay, so for the activities, as I've mentioned like two times I think earlier, there are 80 over clubs in SIM itself. So during the 80 over clubs, there are like academic side kind of thing, or you can do like arts and cultural. So what I have actually joined when I first stepped into SIM is SIM student ambassadors, as I've told you all, like because it's part of my contract, and I was really keen. So while I was joining, what my activities were as a regular member were to actually approach the students and the parents to actually explain more about SIM and about myself and help them with the application as well. So I'm actually being someone like study abroad, but in SIM itself. So yeah, it was a very eye-opening experience, mainly because I actually can experience what study abroad has experienced as a student, and
but of course it was more on a basic level. While study abroad has to like, communicate in every way from Myanmar and all. Apart from that, I actually got into the executive committee in 2017. It is the first executive committee that student ambassadors had ever had. And as an executive member, what I had to do during that time, as I was holding the director of student relations position during that time. So what I had to do was plan events for all the members of student ambassadors to actually bond together and get in touch together. But apart from that, I actually like work with other team members to actually plan for upcoming years, not just this year. And from there, I progressed on to being the vice president, and I progressed on to being the president, and I have officially left my post just recently because it is end of my like bachelor degree as well. So apart from student ambassadors, what I have joined is MySIP, which is the Myanmar community in SIM. So the reason I joined this is because when I first came to Singapore and when I first came to SIM, I was really lost. I mean, as a person myself, I'm very bad with directions. And even in school, although like you get familiar after a while, at first when you step in, it's like a really vast place, and you were like, oh no, I don't know where to go and where to get to. Then you met this group of students who are from Myanmar as well, and my seniors, and they were there to help you with all everything like student pass or be with like bank account or anything or maybe like rental places. So they actually helped me. Then I'm like, oh wow, what if I can help other upcoming students from Myanmar as well? And so I joined my sim as a secretary in 2017, and I progressed on to being the president in 2018. So what we actually do apart from helping them like adapt to the surrounding is we actually held events such as the Gen, the Danger, and all, like such festivities of festivals, and actually to make them more engaged with us and to have like a home away from home feeling here in SIM in Singapore. Because it's sometimes hard and you get homesick when you first come, like because you don't actually see the people you usually see your entire life and you're there alone and you feel like, oh, there's no one actually to help you. But don't worry, my sim is there to help you and other students or other friends will be there to help you. So that's what I joined. And apart from that, when I first came, I actually joined Dance Art, which is actually a dance club specializing in jazz and contemporary dance. I have never actually experienced such genres. Usually, what I would do is like K-pop, hip hop, and all during my high school. But it was something new, and I really like to challenge myself. And dancing is part of my passion as well. And in a way to relax and release all my stress, I will go for the trainings and all. However, because I have all these, I only have 24 hours in a day. Like everyone only has 24 hours in a day, and I still have to study, and I still have like other two club activities, and to do dance as well. Mainly because those sessions, like the training sessions, are from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and the time you reach home is already like 11 p.m. So it's really hard for me to get up the another day, like get ready for a fresh new day. So I actually eventually left the group after a couple of months because I couldn't really handle all the stress and I couldn't really manage my time. Mainly because I still have to like maintain my grade. So yeah, so that's how my activities went for SIM. But apart from all these, right, we also have other activities that you can actually join without being a member of a club. But it's much more beneficial if you're in the executive committee because you actually get to plan rather than enjoy as a member. So yeah, I hope if you were to come to SIM or if you were to go to any other schools, please do join extracurricular activities because this will help you build up as a person because it will make you ready for the career world as well. Yep.
Yeah, it's really nice, and you participated in a lot of activities. So, yeah, you're such a good and independent student. Yeah. Okay. You're going to graduation, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Could you share with us what's your plan to do next after graduation?
Okay, so for the graduation, I just recently finished my finals last week on Wednesday. So my plans, what is right now, is to work first. I actually thought about this a lot before the finals and like since my first like few months of the third year. So what I was actually having a doubt about was whether to go for masters first or go to work and go to masters. And I actually asked all the people who have experiences and who have actually gone to masters and how they have gone, whether they have gone straight to masters or whether they have gone like from working experience. What they say is that those who have gone straight to masters is that it's good mainly because you won't lose focus like on your studies. However, what they actually faced was that they don't have a lot of experiences to share and engage with other upcoming students like from all over the world. So the ones who didn't want straight and went straight to work and go to masters was that they actually took some time to work, and because of that, to get back to masters is a little bit hard. But if you're determined to get to the masters stage, then it should be fine. So what they suggest is that they have this working experience to actually apply in masters and actually learn more from that. So they actually have this level of studies that they have done, then working experience and more masters. So you get a higher perspective to everything. So that's what they told me. Then I sat down for a while and I thought about it, and I was like, okay, so maybe I want to work first and go to masters, because while working you might actually find other areas much more interesting rather than just banking and finance. So that's how I actually decided to work first and go for masters. And for the working, I'm doing my best now to find a job that fits me and that I fit as well, so that we can actually repay each other. Like I can actually bring some benefits to them and they can bring benefits to us as well. So that's why I went for now.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Yana, and we wish you all the best to your brightening future. And we strongly believe that you can do the best and also achieve all you want in your future.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so before we end our conversation here, please could you share to the student who want to join to the go the overseas for their further studies. So could you give advice to them?
Okay, so basically to all the students who are there, like wondering if you should go to overseas studies or if you want to go to overseas studies, I would say that you should definitely go to overseas studies if you can. Mainly because you get exposed to all these like different nationalities and friends that you make from all over the world. They are actually a very big help to you. Mainly because while I was here, I actually met different people from Indonesia, China, India, and like all those common areas. But apart from that, I also meet people from Russia, Kazakhstan, and all. So yeah, it's a really big exposure, and you get to meet and network with a lot of people. And while you are preparing to go to overseas studies, I want you to actually see out all the options you have and go for what you are really passionate for rather than someone forcing you to choose. So yeah, that's what I have for you. And while you're while you're actually pursuing your overseas studies, I just wish you the best and to have as much fun as you can, because 3 years it may seem a lot at first, but it really passed by like really fast. So during that 3 years or 4 years, whichever path you're going, just enjoy and give it your best. And I believe that during this whole journey, right, as long as you do your best, and whatever the results may be it favorable to your decision or unfavorable to your decision, I think it is already the best that you have tried. And if it is something that you weren't expecting the result, then you should actually work on what you can improve the next time you attempt. So yeah, I just wish you all the best on deciding to go to overseas studies and enjoy your overseas studies experience.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Miss Yanajo, and then for your time and sharing experience on our today interview session.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. We believe that you will learn a lot from our today interview session. We already present sharing session from students at School Boston at 2 p.m. on every Monday and every Saturday, every Wednesday, sorry. So we share student experience and school scholarship information and other update information alternatively. So remember to make CFAT our Facebook page, Study Abroad Education. Besides that, we have already launched our YouTube channel, Study Abroad Information Center. That's why kindly subscribe our YouTube channel, Study Abroad Information Center, to uh, to to know and all your future plan for your further study and overseas. So this Wednesday, we will also get back to you with great student sharing session. So wait for our live interview session and see you on Wednesday. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, sister.
Bye.
Okay.